What up, people? It's Ed the Dread coming at you on a lovely day. Sun is shining. It's like 80 degrees, I think. It's gorgeous out here. Recently, I was both stoked and humbled at the same time by a message I received on Facebook from an individual out in Costa Rica whom I've never met, but we're connected because we're humans. And there's the interweb as well. She was questioning me about how to, rise above all the things that hold you down in society. She's a positive person. You can't go wrong if you live in Costa Rica. It's the only country in the world without an army. And like a third of the country is national reserve for animals and wildlife and stuff. And I believe they have like a 4 or 5 year plan to release all their zoo animals back into the wild. So big up to Costa Rica. I've gone 3 times to surf and hang out in the jungle / mountain / ocean. It's a great place. She questioned me on how to, just stay above everything that tries to hold you down in the material world. And my answer to her was to start meditating. I mean, once you can calm your mind down, then you're able to get rid of all that stuff that comes bombarding you from society and from commercials and from other people and from the news and from everything else that'll be hitting you all day that you just have to like block out or override or see through. She said that she had never meditated before and didn't know how to do it. So I'm making a video about the meditation that I began with in starting my journey inward. This originally was a blog post on the tribeofgoodvibes.com. It was written by a very good friend of mine, Doug Meehan. He's an armstand instructor and yoga instructor out on Maui right now. You can follow him at Waterman Yoga on Instagram. He's been doing some crazy arm stands. And actually a lot of his most recent stuff has been nude, which is cool because if you're comfortable with nothing on, that's fine with me. This video is going to be called the Century Breath. Basically, it's very simple. You have to take 100 breaths in a row. You must keep count of your breath, and if you mess up at all, being you forget the number that you're at, or repeat a number, or even think twice about what number you're on, then you have to start over again. When I first started this, I could only do like 20. Honestly, it was probably like 3 years ago, maybe. Jeez, maybe even 4 years at this point. But yeah, about 4 years ago, I could only do about 25 breaths without my mind going haywire. Over time, it became a lot easier. I've done it sitting, I've done it standing, I've done it riding a bike. Actually, I think the place where it worked out best for me in my time of practicing the Century Breath was on like my 30-minute bike to work. I would just bike in silence and breathe and count them. At times I would reach up to like 200, 300 before I stopped. But it's something I haven't actually done in a while because as you progress in your practices, some things are useful for you at a time and you move on from them. Some things you keep with you for a while. But ultimately, this is what I started with in my meditative practice. To begin, I would suggest finding a quiet space. All right, I'm going to do it outside just for the scenic ambiance. All right, but find a space that's quiet where you're not going to be bothered by television, your cell phone. Just turn those off. Get rid of those. And sit yourself down in a comfortable position. You can sit in a chair. You can sit on your bottom with your legs straight out. I'm going to go for half lotus today, which is essentially sitting with your legs crossed. And close your eyes and focus on your breath and count them out. So I'm going to go ahead and take my position over on my yoga mat and just do a century breath. And when I'm done, I'll come and talk to you again. Sound good? See you in a bit. All right, so that was roughly 17 minutes. I was taking pretty deep abdominal breaths. Your breath doesn't have to be very deep. You don't have to breathe abdominally. All you have to do is take 100 breaths, all right? Be kind to yourself, all right? Trust yourself. If you mess up, don't hold it against yourself. Just give it your best shot on your next go. If you want to go again, go for it. But the idea behind it is just to be able to focus your attention on one thing. Your breath is of the utmost importance. All right, it's one thing that most people go through their whole lives doing, but never even thinking about. All right, so a great starting point in any meditative practice is the sensory breath. If you don't feel as though you want to go for 100 on your first try, set your goal at 25. Okay, set your goal at 50. Whatever the case is, just put in the effort to be mindful of your breath, okay, and see what blossoms from there. In conclusion, thank you all for watching. Give it a try, see what it feels like. You might just like it. Namaste, y'all.